another eternal question. Why doesn't everybody just think like me? Because I must think right, somehow. So in 1936, a famous defunct now economist named John Maynard Keynes said that choosing a stock is like judging a beauty contest in which the judges choose not the most beautiful girl, but the girl the other judges think is most beautiful. So the idea here is that in the stock market, I'm not just picking the company that's going to make the most profits, I'm picking the company other people think will make the most profits.
My lecture tonight on the economic brain is going to talk about how the brain itself is an economic system and how groups of brains designed the modern kind of economic system we have today. And I'm going to do that by introducing some basic concepts from a new field we call neuroeconomics, which studies the underlying neural processes or brain processes that lead to economic decision making. And in doing this, I'm going to present what I call 7 lessons from neuroeconomics. I'm going to identify areas in which our evolved brain fails to make, or sometimes fails to make, well thought out, well-informed decisions, and then identify what's happening in the brain when we make these decisions. And sometimes the decisions we make are very efficient. Our brain has evolved so that we can solve many of the problems regarding resources, problems regarding other people in a very efficient way. And other times, the kind of modern society we live in is inconsistent with the evolutionary history of our brain, and we find people making mistakes. So, for example, I will talk about the neurologic basis for interpersonal trust. So why would we trust another person who we've never seen before? In fact, how can we live in these large cities with strangers all around us? Very unnatural. But in fact, we've discovered, my lab has discovered, that we have underlying neural machinery and chemistry that motivates us to cooperate with other people, kind of a trust detector in our brains that allow us to live in large societies, to live in the civilizations. That is what Rome is famous for, is the kind of birth of civilization here. And these brain structures that we've identified using economic tasks and neuroimaging techniques identify how those civilizations were formed, how they're supported, and how modern economic exchange still occurs between largely strangers.